we started about 1900, and we go backwards from there. We try to stay out of the 20th century as much as possible, but you know, working backwards, early 1800s, late 1800s, we talk about things like Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, the first book form that's ever been published in, first edition, the Emancipation Proclamation. And go a little further back, and you would find Harry Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, which is actually on display in the museum. And go back to the founding period of our country, so you'd find the usual suspects. You'd find Thomas Jefferson, you'd find lots of Thomas Paine, you would find Hamilton, Madison, and Jay in the Federalist Papers. You'll find, we have a Constitution of the United States of America before there was a United States of America. I mean, that one's pretty cool. It's the Connecticut printing of the U.S. Constitution. Connecticut was the 4th or 5th state to ratify the Constitution. And when they ratified it, they printed it and sent it out in the state. So this is being printed and sent out before it's ratified by all of the colonies. So there aren't really a United States at that time. That's a pretty cool document. We have one of 3 known copies of a Dunlap printing of the Declaration of Independence. The famous broadside, of which there are maybe about 22, there are only 3 of the one that we have printed by the same guy in the same print shop at the same time. So those are pretty neat. Jump further back. Let's go much further back. We have works by Aristotle and Plato and Cicero, and we have works on mathematics from Newton and Euclid and Archimedes, and we have works by Galileo and Copernicus. Just some fantastic documents, really spanning the range of academic interests, of theology and philosophy and religion and literature. We have a 1700s printing of Shakespeare. You know, it's not a folio, but it's still really cool. I mean, and we have Frankenstein. We have George Orwell's Animal Farm, which violates our 20th century rule, but it's our prerogative, I guess. We also have works by Ayn Rand, and we have works from Thomas Hobbes. We have Leviathan. We have Marx's Das Kapital. We have the Communist Manifesto. Just anything that's ever been written about those subjects of liberty and dignity, we have in our collection. We have 1776. This is kind of a different.
I've got it marked.
Thank you. Excellent. A different one. This is from Universal Magazine of Knowledge, kind of like a monthly, magazine is what I would call it, but from 1776 with a printing of the Declaration of Independence. So this is maybe what you would consider a more common form of what most people would have been exposed to the first time that they would have seen it and had it in their hands. We have a first edition of the King James Bible from 1611, and it's one of the more rare he Bibles because in a passage in Ruth, they refer to Ruth as a he. Obviously, it was a typesetting error, but it's a way to distinguish it from the other versions that were printed in 1611. Tremendously influential document. Basically, it is a representation of the language of Shakespeare. It just permeates our dialogue today, our interaction with people. It's the Bible I grew up reading and memorizing as a kid, but the terms and phrases, just one would be like an eye for an eye. It comes from that 1611 translation of the King James, and those things are awesome. Where they come from, how we got them, how they influence the way we think, but pro or con, whether we like them or we don't like them. And I think that these are important things. I mean, these documents, I hope, spark conversation. When I talked to people last night, one of the things I wanted to leave them with is I hope that they went home and they thought about this a little bit more. 2 more minutes today than they did the day before. Not a lot, and I know that we have lots of things going on in our lives, and we have lots of distractions, and I love them. I think they're great. I love technology. I love gadgets and the computer and internet and iPad and all of those things and watches, and that's all fantastic. But if we don't have an understanding of the ideas that brought us into a society that made that possible, what good is it? Like, let's enjoy the fruits of our labor, but let's also understand what led us to this place.
having seen the